Yeah, my name is Jeremy, and my question is more about a leadership phase. And I'm just wondering, given that the Industrial Revolution 4.0 is coming up, there will be different skills for jobs. I'm just wondering, what's a key skill for youth individual to start working on at an early stage of their career?
Okay, is your question leading to the leadership, or is that the skill sets that require for the future?
Um, More towards the future, but potentially leading towards that kind of role, a leadership role.
Okay, now Jeremy, believe me when I say this, the leadership is your choice. Technical skill is actually, you can learn anytime,
Yeah,
but your mental attitude is the one that's the key for you to leap into the future. How fast you want or you choose, it depends on you.
okay.
Now, I have written a note to myself at a young age as I graduated. I think some of my uh, family members, cousins, brothers, sisters would actually tell you that's true, because I literally wrote the note to myself and say I choose to be a leader,
Yeah,
okay, at 23. And when I wrote that, suddenly everything opens up. Then I realized, oh, there's so many types of leadership. What type of leadership should I choose to be one? Because obviously there's different type of leader. There's a leader by people, there's a leader by vision, there's leader by, well, to some extent, dictatorship.
yeah,
Right? So then, okay, if let's say I choose to be people leader, what are the skill sets do I need? That's where I kind of work backward and then kind of like list down what are the skill. Then ask myself very carefully, do I have that? If I don't, what does it take for me to learn those things?
okay.
But eventually, it's you. You choose to be who you are, right? Now, whether it's now, whether it's future, there's one thing always the same. It's the ability to communicate, express yourself, your idea, your thought, how you want to drive certain thing from A to B. All right. Then who are your team? Who are your teammates? How would you choose to communicate with them? You can use a scare tactic. You can actually use the motivational tactic. There's so many different type of tactic that you can use, but you need to choose. You need to be focused so that once you practice a few more times, you become good at it.
Okay.
I always say this to my apprentice, and we have a lot in the company. And this is something that I learned from one of the great leaders during the early time. Name is Linda Chandler. Um, we always start with this: awareness leads to clarity. Okay, the moment, sorry, awareness leads to options. There's different possibilities out there, but possibility usually end up with confusion.
Yeah,
Too many choices. But that's good. That's a good start. And by the end of that confusion, you started to tick off whatever that you choose to be or choose not to be. At least you are clearer that by then. Then you lead to you will finally to one or two choices. That's where you will actually have that clarity. Okay, after weigh out the pros and cons, and then, but that doesn't stop there. That's just the beginning.
yeah,
Okay, when you have that, the next thing is you got to make a decision
yeah,
what to do, right? Decision will then leads to actions.
mm,
Actions will leads to habit, because when you repeat the same action again and again, it becomes habits. Inevitably, as you do the habit, it becomes your destiny. So
mm,
if you choose your destiny to be a leader, a great leader, start with you.
yeah.
All
Okay.
right. I hope
Yeah.
I answer your question.
Now, my question is, what has been most effective for you personally, carrot or stick? Or is that a question for Andrew to answer?
Well, I let Andrew to answer that. Andrew, why don't you put yourself on mute and answer the question on my behalf?
Hi everyone. Sorry, Shaun, what was your question?
No, no. I was asking Andrew, Daniel, what has his method been? Was it carrot or stick? Fear tactic or positive reinforcement?
Both. Yeah, I think everyone's different. Some people like stick, some people like carrot. I think, as Daniel mentioned earlier, everyone's different. There's no one solution fit all.
Right. So you apply different tactic to different people.
Yeah, everyone has a different approach. Some softer, some needs an iron fist, some you need to hit the table. Yeah.
Daniel, are you softer to people within the administrative side? Is there a difference in management approach?
I don't think I behave any differently. I am me. Andrew will agree with me. Whoever I am, whether it's shareholders, whether it's board of directors, whether it's an employee, whether it's clerk, I treat them with one thing: respect.
Right.
The more that you respect them, the more that you get things done. You get them to be on your side and get things done, right? But the thing is, people will tend to, as with any human being, they will find a lot of shortcuts, a lot of ways to, cheat the system, if you like, right? So that always happen, whether it's Bruneian or anywhere in the world, that I work with. I think it's the same. Now that kind of like encourage you to sharpen your awareness and then build a better systems around it. So it kind of like work both ways, because without them I won't improve. So to be quite honest, I really well, during the challenging time, you kind of like thinking, oh, these are the people again and whatever. But then you look back, they are the ones who help to push you to the direction where you become who you are today. The reason why you are a better and better each time is because of them. So you have to be very, very thankful. So 2 words: respect and thankful.
Right. Last question, Daniel.
Yeah.
Leadership, is it a born trait or is it a skill that can be learned?
It's
By
choice.
Steph Lee.
By Stephanie?
Steph Lee, yes.
Oh. There's definitely there are a lot of guides that you can actually or reference that you can actually read, but nothing compare if you choose it yourself. Okay, it's by choice, in my opinion. Okay, I choose to be one at the age of 23. Now I'm inching towards 50. That's a long journey. I have never looked back since. Right? So when you choose to be that type of leader, it opens up, just like what I spoke about with Jeremy just now. It opens up a whole different kind of skill that it requires for you to become that type of leader.
But Daniel, we're all young people here who are in the 20s or under 20. It's impossible for us to be a leader without any position when we get into an organization.
Right.
So what are you talking about?
Right. And the word leadership does not confine by your title. Okay. Just because I hold the managing director position doesn't mean that I can be a leader. Okay. I see leadership happen everywhere. Within the team, there will be the chief, commanding this and that, telling people what to do, caring for people, etc. Those are leader. It's a different type of leader. Okay, you don't need a title to be a leader. And I believe there's a book that's written about this, leader without title.
Yes.
Read it.
Robin Sharma.
Yeah, you will know what I'm talking about. And I love that book. And I believe so myself. I often tell Andrew, without that managing director, do you still think that I'm a leader? I leave him to answer that question.
Yep, he's
Over
still
to
a
you,
leader. He's still a leader.
what do you learn? What, you know, if you were to sum it up, you know, what do you learn from working with Daniel?
I think great leadership is definitely one of them. I give a good example while working in CIC. Not only Daniel, but the other executive officers in the company. It's an open door principle. I personally have worked in a few companies before, and I've not seen a company with their management so open 24/7.
Flat organization.
Great organization. Always door open. You can be a manager, you can be a coordinator, you can be a clerk. If you have a problem, just knock on the door and they're there to help you. That really gives a lot of confidence of the staff.
Wonderful, wonderful. Well, thank you so much, Andrew. Thank you, Daniel, for your precious time. Before you go, Daniel, I want to acknowledge this. On behalf of the community, you know, when I did research on your website, I learned that you guys were one of the first people to donate, what, $70,000 to COVID-19 fund. So congratulations and well done. And you know, on the other hand, you know, you are tightening your belt as well. So in time like this, you know, when companies step up, you know, it really earns everyone's admiration and respect. So thanks for that, for what you're doing for the community.
Thank you.
Yeah.